Welcome to Loudoun Soccer's Rising U9 Travel Program Parent Meeting Presentation for 2020-21. In this meeting, we will discuss Loudoun Soccer, its player development pathway, and opportunities for your child if they are eligible for our Rising U9 age group. The travel program is led by John O'Hara, the Director of Coaching, and is administered by Fiona Legg, our Travel Program Manager, and Beth Meeker, our Travel Program Assistant. The following presentation is based on a normal state of play and what our U9 program will look like. Clearly, we are not in normal times. Adjustments may be made to comply with federal, state, and local best practices, which may include restricted activities and virtual training, because the health and safety of our players, families, and coaches is paramount. You may find additional details in regards to these adjustments on the club's website. Loudoun Soccer is more than just a soccer club. Its mission is to create soccer players, coaches, and teams of strong character committed to achievement on the field and in our community. Our philosophy is developing champions for life. Our core values, how we navigate our behavior, includes fun, integrity, fairness, teamwork, and stewardship. Loudoun Soccer has many strengths, including access to multiple leagues and levels of competition. This allows our teams of all ages and levels to find appropriate competition. This includes the Elite Clubs National League, a nationwide competitive league for U13 and above for our most elite athletes. The club is supported by its operational, administrative, and park staff, and we are also the owners and operators of Loudoun Soccer Park, giving us a facility and a home to call our own. The club is committed to internal and external coaching education and professional development, constantly improving our coaches so our players and families have a more positive experience. The club is led by a technical staff of some of the most accomplished coaches in Northern Virginia, and is also led by a travel coaching staff of nearly 60 coaches. We have access to facilities beyond Loudoun Soccer Park, including Bowlin Park and other quality fields across the county. We feature a defined player pathway, which includes an age-appropriate curriculum, and our culture includes being champions on and off the field, allowing our travel coaches to pursue opportunities such as our junior board of directors, to help our top soccer program, to learn how to be a coach, to volunteer in other opportunities, and to receive a college scholarship for their efforts on and off the field. While Loudoun Soccer has certainly had its success at the younger age groups with its players and teams, we're very proud of what our older teams and players have been able to accomplish in recent history as players and teams who have progressed through our program. This includes success at the state, regional, and national level, and then individually with players competing in college, the professional ranks, and even national team play. We've placed over 150 players in the last 6 years in college, including 40 in the year of 2020. Our club's player pathway allows a child of any age an opportunity to play, whether it's our recreational grassroots level to compete in the travel age group starting at under 9, or advancing to our ECNL elite level at under 13. Let's talk about U9 travel soccer as a format. We form larger teams in this age group, typically 10, 11, or 12 players per team, with 12 being the maximum. Teams play 7-on-7, 6 field players with a goalkeeper. Most games are 30-minute halves, include a size 4 soccer ball, and are played with larger size fields and goals. All teams at this age group are led by professional coaches, with Loudoun Soccer selecting and hiring those appointments. The emphasis at under 9 in our player development pathway is primarily on technical skill development. This also includes tactical elements because it's important for players to understand not just what to do or how to do it, but when and why to do it. We introduce functional training, introducing players to multiple positions throughout the year. This also includes tactical discussions and team building activities, so players are developing bonds on and off the field. We introduce agility and conditioning programs that are appropriate to this age group, as well as the concept of recovery and nutrition. In terms of playing time, it's fair, but not necessarily equal. There are circumstances in games that might limit what amount of playing time a child receives, but generally the amount of time will be fair throughout the season. We also want to leave room to reward those athletes whose attendance, attitude, effort, and performance in both training and games should be recognized and rewarded with extra playing time. Given the emphases in this age group, our curriculum focuses on a lot of individual technical skill development, so players understand the roles offensively and defensively in one-on-one matchups. We also introduce small and large group technical and tactical concepts, such as combination play, while providing players the opportunity to make decisions. It's important for them to learn and understand the 4 moments in the game: when we're attacking, when we're defending, and the transition from each. We encourage risk-taking and creativity while also teaching players how to compete. Loudoun Soccer's travel age groups, like most age groups across the country, are organized by individual teams. Loudoun Soccer typically forms 4, 5, or 6 teams in any given age group, starting in a tiered approach, with the red team being our top level team, followed by black, white, silver, and then gray. Players are selected to the team and are placed on a roster for the year, but there's a lot of collaboration among coaches and the technical staff throughout the year. This might include an internal futsal program, weekly age group training nights, guest playing opportunities, and, when appropriate for a child, adjusting rosters to allow them to play at the level that is most appropriate for them. For our rising U9 travel teams, the expected league play is our red and black teams playing in the CCL Next Gen division, our white and silver teams playing in the NCSL, and our gray and potential gold teams playing also in NCSL or in the ODSL. As teams age, their divisions may change. While the commitment for travel soccer is year-long, that commitment will ebb and flow throughout the calendar. Let's take a further look at each season. During the summer months, players are selected to teams and teams are formed. Following that team formation, which includes the registration period, teams may train once or twice in the month of June to help build those bonds. Also expect a parent meeting where team and club-related policies and schedules will be shared. In July, expect practices to occur once or twice a week. These are informal team sessions and sometimes informal age group sessions. Please do not adjust your vacation plans to attend these sessions. We fully anticipate conflicts occurring and want families and players to have some downtime. But when you are in town and practice is available, we'd like your child to be there. The arrival of August marks the start of our fall preseason. Expect teams to train once or twice a week early in the month, and then also to have a preseason mini camp, which features 4 or 5 days of consecutive training in the span of a week. Teams may participate in a scrimmage fest or a preseason tournament, likely the Loudoun Premier Cup, and twice a week team training begins at the end of the month, usually in line with the start of the school year. Come September, teams establish their seasonal rhythm with twice a week team training, once a week TA, optional training programs like the Goalkeeper Academy and Striker Academy, and once or twice a week games typically on Sundays, although some Saturdays may occur. Teams also participate in one or two seasonal tournaments, which might be over Labor Day weekend, Columbus Day weekend, or an end of season event prior to Thanksgiving. Following the end of the fall season, which for some teams may include parts of November, depending on when their season ends, teams will take a break from soccer. Most teams will organize some form of end of season team party to celebrate their accomplishments, and depending on the schedule, our indoor or futsal program may begin. Come January, soccer resumes. All teams will train once a week on Sundays indoors in area school gymnasiums, and some teams will train once a week outdoors. It varies, depends on the level of the team. Anticipate our teams participating in a futsal introductory training league where our teams will play against each other and learn the new rules and concepts related with futsal, an indoor soccer experience. The spring season has a similar flow to the fall season. Commitments ramp up in March with one or two training sessions a week and a preseason tournament or two leading up to league play. League play will begin in late March or early April with games on Saturdays and or Sundays, and expect some back-to-back days because the calendar season is much smaller compared to the fall. There are optional training programs, and the calendar concludes with tryouts for the following year. It's also important to note that all of our travel families are expected to volunteer at our college showcase, which attracts over 200 teams from around the country to participate in our area. At some point, your child will be participating in this event too, so we as a club all commit to putting on a great program. U9 teams typically train in Leesburg and Ashburn, primarily at Loudoun Soccer Park, Bolin Park, Raymouth, or Potomac Green. Most practices are early, 5 to 6:30, given the age of the players, and will either be Monday and Tuesday or Tuesday and Thursday, depending on the coach. On rare occasions, teams will practice on Fridays. All U9 teams will train together on Thursdays at the same location, allowing for age group collaboration to occur. During the winter months, practices will be held indoors, typically in gyms in Leesburg or Ashburn, often in the late morning or the early afternoon. Most games are played on Sundays, although depending on the calendar needs, some Saturday matches will be scheduled. Home games are played at the best fields we have access to, including Loudoun Soccer Park, Bolin Park, Potomac Green, and Burns Ridge, among others. Kickoff times are typically in the morning or early afternoon. For away games, some travel is involved, usually 30 to 60 minutes. The kickoff times will vary based on the club's home field access. Tournaments are also generally local, although we have, on rare occasions, sent some teams to events in Richmond. Most tournaments follow the same format: 2 games on Saturday, a game on Sunday, and depending on your performance, a championship game Sunday afternoon. The club offers several in-season supplemental training programs, most notably our Wednesday night training academy, a technically themed training session for U9 to U14 boys and girls in our travel program held at Loudoun Soccer Park. It's included in their fees. Unfortunately, given the conditions we expect to operate, Training Academy in person will not be held, but will be virtual instead. Players will get that third night of training through the comfort of their own home, but with structured, technical instruction from our professional coaches leading those sessions. There are some optional programs for players to participate in too. On Monday night, we have our Goalkeeper Academy. For the U9 age group, attendance is often rotated so that players who are planning on being assigned to goalkeeper roles that weekend can attend Monday night's training session to learn a little bit more. There's an optional program on Friday called Striker Academy, where players learn the art and technique of goal scoring and ball striking. This is a supplemental program that requires an additional fee. Let's shift our focus to the upcoming year, introduce our coaching staff, share expectations, and discuss the team formation process. We're proud to announce the following coaches as our Rising U9 age group staff. The staff will be led by Kelsey Surkamp, who joins us having previously served as a technical staff member at VSA. She'll be assisted with the following coaches: Mary Grace Doyle, Steve Cook, Tatiana Coleman, and Dominic Rutin. We're also very proud of our U9 boys age group coaches, who are led by Al Bonilla. Many of you will know Al from our U8 Academy. He'll be assisted by Jim McLean, Tim Lucas, Joel Genovi, and Jesse Vela. We expect all of our coaches to be leaders of their teams, their players, and their parents, displaying a professionalism at all times. We expect them to communicate effectively, be fair and honest, show integrity, and remember that we are coaching children. At all times, they will promote a developmental model consistent with the club's philosophy. Players are expected to attend all practices and games, even if they are not healthy enough to play. The lone exception is if they're sick. We want players to be on time for practice, so please allow them to arrive a few minutes early so we can start and end on time. Players are also expected to bring and wear the appropriate equipment: shin guards, ball, water, and the correct colored training t-shirt. We want them to be good teammates, supportive. We want them to be good athletes, working hard and try their best, but we also want them to be good sports, respecting everyone involved, from teammates to opponents to coaches, referees, and spectators. Parents are expected to be positive, supportive role models, not just for their own children, but for the others involved with the team. As such, parents are not allowed to coach from the sidelines. It causes confusion and it steals decision-making opportunities from the players. We'd like them to be volunteers to support their team and the club. That might be as a team administrator or a team treasurer or in other capacities where the club could use your assistance. When there is an issue that arises, we ask that a civil and professional and timely approach is taken. Observe the 24-48 rule. Wait 24 hours to cool down, but address it in the next 48 hours so that it can be done in a timely fashion. If it's a team-related issue, talk to your coach first. If you're unresolved with the coach, or if it's a club-related issue, then please contact the director of coaching. Joining a travel soccer team is a year-long commitment. Financially, this includes club fees, team fees, and individual family expenses. For red and black teams, club fees include 20 off-season training sessions, which are typically split evenly between the summer and winter seasons. For white, silver, gray, and gold teams, this includes 10 off-season training sessions. For all age groups and team levels, installment plans are available. Families are encouraged to visit us online for our COVID-19 policy. In short, families will not be charged fees if in-person programming is not available. Please visit us online for additional details. Club fees cover most expenses, including the coach's year-long salary, league fees, referee fees, salaries for the technical and operations staff, off-season training and winter club training, support for our financial assistance program and our coaching education, and field and facility costs, among others. Families are also responsible for paying their share of a team fee. Each team maintains a separate bank account, collecting directly from families throughout the year for team-specific expenses, such as tournament entry fees, winter league fees, including league registration and the coach's fee, and any specific equipment, such as a pop-up bench or canopy the team will want to have on the sidelines for game day. Teams might also collect money for end-of-year team parties. The typical ballpark range for U9 team fees is $400. Families are also responsible for individual costs, such as their uniforms, any other equipment they may need, individual development programs like our Striker Academy or summer camps, and their personal travel to and from games and events. Players in the travel soccer program wear a different uniform kit than those in the recreational program. Those kits typically have a 2-year lifespan, with families responsible for purchasing new kits every 2 years. We're currently in the middle of a uniform cycle. However, given the conditions that we're in, an exception is being made for the rising U9 age group. Current 8U Academy players may wear their existing kit for next year and add additional items to complete the kit. Those additional items are a black training top, a warm-up top, white socks, and black socks. Players from outside the 8U Academy who are joining our rising U9 travel age group, including those in the recreational program or those from outside the organization, will be responsible for all of the above items. Optional items like backpacks and training pants are also available. All families will be responsible for purchasing a new uniform kit for next year's cycle, starting in 2021. The uniforms they have for now will be good for the fall, winter, and spring of this upcoming year. Uniforms are ordered online through Capelli Sports. Families with children selected to a Rising U9 travel team will be emailed details on how to complete their uniform order. Teams are traditionally formed through a tryout process, which is led and overseen by the coaching staff of that age group. To be eligible for selection, families must pre-register their child. It's an open tryout process. For this year, potential players may come from the U8 Academy, our rec program, or from outside organizations. Those rosters that are formed following tryouts will reset next year, so the tryout process will occur again around May or June. Players are selected by their ability level to an appropriate team. For this year, since tryouts cannot be safely conducted, we will be placing players based on our prior knowledge of their abilities. In terms of those abilities, we look for the following: technical skill, vision and decision making, speed and athleticism, although at the younger age groups that is not quite as emphasized. We also look at all ages for character and positive attitude, their ability to transition to attacking and defending, their ability to accept feedback and direction from coaches, their work ethic, and their impact in the game. Traditionally, the player selection process will begin during the tryout process or immediately after the tryout process. For this upcoming year, since we are forming teams without tryouts, it'll begin at the end of the registration period. So we encourage families to register as soon as possible. We also encourage families to discuss their options and plans now, which allows us to speed up the selection process. That in turn alleviates anxiety that families or players may have while waiting for a phone call. Everyone who registers will be notified of their status. Invitations will be extended by phone, but in order to notify as many people as possible, those players and families who are not selected might receive an email instead. We recognize that might not be as formal, but it also gives you information sooner so you can find an alternative option if needed. Following that process, teams will have their post-tryout team training and parents will meet to discuss the expectations for the upcoming year. In closing, Loudoun Soccer provides a quality, focused environment for player development. It's led by a technical staff, travel coaches, and administrators who are professional, prepared, and experienced. We train and play at high-quality facilities and have access to leagues and competitions that other clubs don't. We have a proven track record of advancing players to the next level of play, whether it's high school, college, professional, or just being lifelong soccer players, all organized in a positive club culture. If you have any questions about the travel program, please contact John O'Hara or Fiona Legg. If you have any questions in regards to the Rising U9 age group, please contact your age group head coach. For the boys, Al Bonilla, and for the girls, Kelsey Surkamp. Thank you for watching this presentation. We're really happy you're part of Loudoun Soccer. or will be joining Loudoun Soccer, where we develop champions for life. Thanks again. Please stay safe and healthy. We hope to see you and your family on the field again soon.